Hi guys, so today at work, I got the idea for this video because I looked outside and I saw a guy on this weird, kind of looked like a skateboard with wheels, but just moving by itself. And I'm like, okay, number one, what the hell is this? I looked it up. I think it probably is called, or is, the hoverboard Segway. And I found it on Amazon for $500.
$500.
$500 was how much this guy paid to not have to walk anymore. Imagine how lazy one person would have to be like, you know what? You know what's been really bothering me lately? Walking. Transportation via my legs has become a super big problem for me. So I have this extra $500 lying around, and this sounds like the perfect product for me. And it's just funny because it makes you think about all of the weird technology that you can find on the market that is kind of, it's pretty useful, but it's very unnecessary. Because seriously, I'm just thinking how much of an inconvenience was walking for this person that they thought, you know what I need to bring to the mall? This hands-free Segway, because I need my hands to do my shopping, for picking up my stuff, but my legs need to rest. They can't be used today. They cannot. So another thing that came into my head when I thought about technology that I kind of found to be useless was one of my other jobs that I had in a grocery store. And they put in this time clock to punch in. And first you could just put in your number, but all of a sudden that was too easy. We had to make it harder. They put in a punch clock that you had to scan your fingerprint for it to work. So when I was first told that I was gonna have to do this, number one, you have to go in and scan all your fingers, and it just felt like I was getting arrested. I was getting my fingerprints taken. I'm and the fact is that it would just never work. So it's we're trying to be the CIA, FBI level privacy here with the whole finger scanning. Maybe we'll start with the retina scans or something. But if it's not gonna work, it really just is more of an inconvenience than anything. And that's why it's completely unnecessary. And I remember when that got put up, I was I cannot believe this right now. I am not James Bond. I'm not Christina Bond. I'm working in the produce section of a grocery store. I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. Bluetooth, earphone things, are very necessary when you're driving and that sort of thing. But I just think that they are so unnecessary for when you're not in the car or when you're not carrying 2 armfuls of something. If you have a hand free, it should be holding the phone, and I'll tell you why. It makes me feel awkward. It's basically because even especially at work and that sort of thing, and there's a customer that walks in and you hear them on the phone and they're hey, how's it going? And I'm hi, how are you? So happy that people are not ignoring me what they do to retail people sometimes. And then I'll realize that they were on the phone, and it just, use your hands. I know we don't like to walk anymore, but let's still try and use our hands to do things, just sometimes, even just for the good of the people around us, like me, that don't always notice these things, okay? How about GPSs that don't work? I find that pretty unnecessary, and I have been the victim of that a few times, an embarrassing amount of times. I remember one time it happened to me and my friend Anna. We were going to a bar, and we ended up in another city, and I was in complete confidence that we were going in the right direction. Anna's I think this might be wrong. And I'm no, it's just a kilometer ahead. It's a dark, long road. It's dark for miles. And I'm no, the GPS says it's 1 kilometer ahead. I believe it. It was wrong. So that is all of the technology right now that I can think off the top of my head that's unnecessary, but there is a 100% chance that I missed a bunch of stuff. So if you guys can think of anything, I'd love to read it in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.
$500.